Hi, good morning. In this video class, I like to explain the topic flower pigmentation and genetic engineering. We know that flower is the main sexual reproductive organ of angiosperm, and that flower possesses mainly four parts. One is calyx, second one is corolla, and third one is androecium, and the fourth one is gynoecium. And we know that calyx is made up of sepal, corolla is made up of petal, androecium is made up of stamens, gynoecium is made up of carpel. So the main function of this flower is to carry out sexual reproduction that leads to the formation of seeds or next generation plants. So in order to support the process of sexual reproduction, especially fertilization and pollination, flower possess an attractive colored petals. So the main function of petal is to attract the pollinating agent like insect. It may be either insect, it may be either bird, it may be either any living organism to attract the pollinating agent. Like that, that petal, the pigment present within that petal can able to prevent the harmful radiation which are coming from the sun. For example, when we take the case of UV ray, the flower petal can able to inhibit or able to prevent the damage due to the UV ray. So the main function of this petal is to help for pollinating agent by attracting them, and like that to prevent the harmful effect of radiation coming from the sunlight. So when we take the case of flower pigments, you can see mainly two pigments are responsible for the production of attractive colored petal in flowers. Among these, one is called carotenoid pigments. You can see carotenoid pigments, and second one is called flavonoids. Actually, these two pigments are mainly responsible for the attractive colored appearance of flower petal. Among these, carotenoid is a group of pigments which include carotene and mainly which include carotene and xanthophyll. That carotenoids are mainly located within the chloroplast, especially on the thylakoid membrane and the stroma lamella of chloroplast. Whereas when we take the case of flavonoids, they are not situated within the chloroplast. Instead, they are situated within the vacuole of plant cell. We know that plant cell possess a large vacuole which occupy more than 70% of the total space of the cell. So within that vacuole, you can see lot of compartmentalization for storing various kind of material. Some compartment carry waste material, some carry some kind of hormones, some chamber carry this kind of flavonoids also. So the main location of flavonoid is vacuole. And these carotenoids alone or in association with the flavonoids gives yellow and orange color to flowers. When we, if we take the pigment within the carotenoid, you can see carotene and xanthophyll. Mainly xanthophylls are giving yellow color and carotene gives orange color. And other flower color, you can see different flowers, different petals in different colors. Among these, yellow and orange are mainly responsible for the presence of carotenoid. Whereas when we take the case of some flowers, you can see pink colored flowers, red colored flowers, violet colored flowers, and blue colored flowers. That color, that colored petal is due to the presence of second category of pigments. That pigment category is called flavonoids. So here we are going to study the biosynthetic pathway of flavonoids. Then only we can able to make a conclusion about the genetic engineering of flower. Here in genetic engineering, we are studying the different biosynthetic pathway and different pigments which are responsible for the production of different flower in different color. So our aim is to create genetically modified plant having economically valuable flower color. So for that purpose, we are going to study the biosynthetic pathway of different flower pigment. If we study the biosynthetic pathway of different flower pigment, then only we can able to make an understanding about how we can able to create a genetically modified plant with economically valuable flowers by inhibiting or by stimulating the metabolic pathway enzymes of these flavonoids and carotenoids. So let us try to understand the biosynthetic pathway of flavonoids. Here you can see the biosynthetic pathway of flavonoids. Mainly mainly 6 enzymes are involved in the biosynthetic pathway of flavonoids. That 6 enzymes are listed at the bottom portion of this slide. You can see CHS, chalcone synthase, chalcone isomerase, flavanone 3-hydroxylase, flavonoid 3' hydroxylase, and flavonoid 3,5-dihydroxylase, and dihydroflavanol 4 reductase. These are the main 6 biosynthetic enzymes which are responsible for the production of flavonoid. Here at the bottom portion you can see brick red colored pigment, like that red colored cyanidin 3 glucoside and blue colored delphinidin glucoside, and like that you can see here the enzyme dihydroflavanol reductase, chalcone synthase, like that flavanone 3-hydroxylase, flavonoid 3-hydroxylase. So this is the biosynthetic pathway of flavonoid which are giving brick red color, like that red color, blue color, and like that some pigments gives the inhibition of some of this enzyme will get colorless, that is white flower also. So if we can regulate the enzymes of this biosynthetic pathway by genetic engineering, we can able to create lot of transgenic plant having desired flower color that help to increase the flower economy of our nation and of the whole world. So here we are going to regulate the biosynthetic enzymes through genetic engineering. Thereby, we can able to create transgenic plant with a desirable flower color. So here you can see the biosynthetic pathway start with the condensation of malonyl coenzyme. You can see the malonyl coenzyme. The condensation of malonyl coenzyme A with the help of chalcone synthase will get tetrahydroxychalcone. So that compound is a yellow colored pigment. So if the CHH, if the chalcone synthase is active within the plant, then that flower will produce yellow colored petal. So if we inhibit this chalcone isomerase, then we will get yellow colored flower. Suppose if chalcone isomerase is also active, then that tetrahydroxychalcone then converted into naridinin. So the flower gives colorless, that is white petal. Like that, if all the enzymes of this biosynthetic pathway is active, then we will get either brick red or blue color. So the regulation of this enzyme leads to the flower having different colors. So this regulation this enzyme can be regulated by genetic engineering by inserting certain transgene or by inhibiting certain gene which is already present within this plant. So that leads to the formation of transgenic plants. So this is the explanation of this biosynthetic pathway. You can see the biosynthetic pathway begins with a stepwise condensation of 3-acetate molecule into malonyl coenzyme with the help of chalcone synthase. So this chalcone synthase then converted into this malonyl coenzyme, the paleoalcohol tetrahydroxy chalcone. All these things are discussed now. These are all the description of that biosynthetic pathway. You can see. So these are all the main 6 enzymes which help in the biosynthetic pathway of flavonoids. Next, let us try to study how genetic modification can occur. What are the possibility of genetic modification in order to create transgenic plant having desirable flower color? First of all, overexpression of structural gene. We can able to express a particular gene which is already present in a plant in more amount. How it can be possible? We can able to insert a particular copy of gene which is already present in the plant. Suppose if you imagine a plant contain a gene A. So I want to express that gene A in more amount. I need that gene product in more amount. So I can able to insert the same copy of that gene A or copy or a gene which is very closely similar to that gene from a foreign cell into that cell. So that leads to the overexpression of that structural gene. But in some cases, if we insert the same copy of a gene into a plant cell, that leads to a process called co-suppression. Co-suppression means if type A gene is present in a plant cell, then after that, if I insert a type A gene or a gene which is very similar to type A from foreign cell into that cell, then what happened? That cell contains two gene copies. One is which is already present in the plant and the other one is an inserted one. So if the gene copy, if a plant contains more than one gene copy, that leads to the inhibition all the genes. That leads to the inhibition of that inserted transgene and the gene which is already present in the cell. Such kind of and such processes are called co-suppression. So I'll explain the details of that co-suppression in the next slide. So second one is the inhibition of key biosynthetic enzyme. We can if we inhibit any of the 6 enzyme which I already explained here, that leads to the production of transgenic plant we can able to create. If I inhibit any of the biosynthetic enzyme, that leads to the prevention of the whole biosynthetic pathway. So that leads to some favorable flower color. Like that, if we add any extra enzyme into the biosynthetic pathway, that also may change some biosynthetic that change the biosynthetic pathway that can also yield different kind of flowers. And like that, use of sense and antisense enzyme construct. Now we can also depend RNA silencing technique in order to prevent the gene production of any of the previously described 6 enzymes. And we know that enzymes are mainly the gene product. So if I insert any kind of RNA to prevent the mRNA of that enzyme production, that also leads to the inhibition of that enzyme, which gives a variable flower color. So these are all the methods of genetic modification in order to create transgenic plant having different flower or desirable flower color. Next, we'll study what is co-suppression. I already told you the process of co-suppression. Okay. Here you can see the process of co-suppression. That is, when a plant carry a transgenic copy of an endogenous gene, that is a gene within the plant cell, then both the gene get silenced. That process is called co-suppression. That occurs when a transgene is present within the cell. But the presence of a transgene within one cell may inhibit the expression of the endogenous gene which is present within the another cell also. The possibility of that suppression exists due to the phloem transport. So that is discussed, that is explained in this slide. And next, how this co-suppression, how the suppression of both endogenous and the same copy of transgene occurs. So its result is not so much simple. So we can try to find out what are the possibility of suppression that occurs in case of co-suppression. So there are different way of or different categories of explanation for this co-suppression. In many cases, it involves the inactivation of RNA transcription. That is inactivation of both endogenous DNA product, that is endogenous mRNA, the gene, the mRNA which is produced from the endogenous or endogenes, and like that the mRNA of transgene. So that is the inactivation of RNA transcript. So we can say that it is a post-transcript. Co-suppression is a post-transcriptional separation of both endogene and transgene. And second way of thought is that in order to suppress both endogenous and transgene, there must be a minimum similarity or homology between this transgene and endogenes. Even though their function is same, they need a not functional similarity, they need a homology or a structural similarity between transgene and endogene. Then only the process of co-suppression will occur. And third, in many cases, it has been shown that gene must be actively transcribed before co-suppression. So in some cases, both endogene and transgene produces its protein product. So we can assume that in third case, co-suppression may be due to the feedback mechanism, that is the enzyme or the gene product itself prevent the function of both the transgene and endogenes. That is the feedback inhibition mechanism can also possible in case of co-suppression. And fourth, the frequency of co-suppression frequency and its reversal, that is active expression of both genes, that is its reversal, is very variable. But its rate, that is co-suppression rate, or its reversal, that is the expression of both genes simultaneously, that is its reversal and co-suppression rate is generally proportional to the number of copies of a gene present and their rate of transcription also. So these are all the four assumptions regarding with the co-suppression process. So normally these co-suppressions are also used for the production of transgenic plant having desirable flower color. So this is about the genetics or genetic engineering of transgenic plant in order to create attractive or in order to create desirable kind of flower color for increasing the economic value of flower industry. Okay.